Hello folks, welcome back. This is Art of Cycling, and I'm Greg Leach, or that there, the guy with the t-shirt there, that's me. I love this t-shirt. Not that I think that bartenders are God, but I do like underneath of it, it says, tip well, don't anger the gods. So I'm back working on this painting, as of yet unnamed. You saw the sketches earlier from the previous painting, and so now I'm just sort of working in. I'm not sure that this particular view had these black-eyed Susans, but I decided to add them because they were all over the park. And I'm starting to play around with the idea of the title. There's black-eyed Susans, Susan's watching, we've got the two ladies, they're watching something. In reality, they're watching their kids play in the water splash pad, I think is what everybody calls them now. But anyway, this is the Oilstick painting that I'm hoping to get finished before the start of the tour, which begins in 6 days. So despite the fact there's a lot going on in my life, I think I should be able to manage to get these finished. So what I'm doing now, of course, is working on the black eyes, and this is a mixture of the alizarin crimson oil stick. I believe that is some deoxing purple. And I sort of played around with this a little bit. Touch of white. Actually, I think the other was the blue and then the deoxing purple. Sorry, I don't remember exactly which order. But then again, I kept changing the order as well. I wasn't looking for, in fact, I didn't want them all to be exactly the same. So you can see that one's predominantly vermilion. I'm guessing that was the phthalo blue. Spot of white. And then the deoxing purple on top of that. And I love that, and you'll see it later, but the vermilion and the phthalo blue gives you a really great, deep, rich color that reads as black. I mean, technically, it isn't black. But I've always felt that black kind of eats a hole in things. So to have a chromatic, quote-unquote, black is always superior. So these paintings are, this one is, the paper is 52 inches wide. So if you go to my website, gregleach.com, you will notice that virtually all of the dimensions are 52 by something. Sometimes, as in this case, the 52 inches is the longer dimension. In some cases, it's the shorter dimension, like the piece you can see hanging sideways to my left. So I love, the oil sticks are great for getting this mix, and there's a lusciousness, which I'll show you later. And as you can tell, as I scurry through, because I'm going to switch colors, all the mixing happens right on the surface. I wish you could see what I'm doing. I wish I could see what I'm doing. But my suspicion is, oh, yeah, here now I'm down here looking for a new yellow. And I'm glad this came where I was at. I was afraid I was like sticking my behind in your face. Or actually, I think I'm looking for the orange, which I found. So right now I'm going through a crate that has a whole bunch more oil sticks. I should have shown that. There's a video. There's a little pan through the studio. Yep. So this is the oldest packaging that I still have of these oil sticks. And you can see with the gloves on, I'm struggling to get it open. They now just wrap them in plastic, which is both easier to get into, but also a little annoying to get off. So, yeah, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. This particular orange is rather old and therefore oxidized, and the outside of it looked like a dark brown. let you know that the oil sticks don't fade or change color over time, and that's without any sort of sealant, and you may notice that there's no gesso or anything on the paper. So what I'm doing right there is pulling the dried oil stick off so it gets a little more fluid motion on the paper. This paper is Arches Tutankhamun, which is a heavy, 100, I think it was like 180 pound paper. It might be higher than that. Sorry, I don't remember offhand. But it has a nice tooth, which helps in the dragging. Helps the oil stick stick and not just slide across the surface, so it helps with the mixing. So that's obviously what I'm working on now. So taking the orange, laying the yellow oil stick, and now I'm laying, as you can see, just a little bit of white. Sometimes just letting that white sit on top. Other times I'll come back in and drag the yellow back through it. Pretty soon here I'm going to switch to time lapse, and you'll see this, because obviously, this is the one Black-Eyed Susan, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go after that. And it's intrinsically the same process over and over. So you get to see this one sort of in real time. But this is sort of, because of what I want to do with some of the other colors, so not only is it subject matter, it's local, it's what was actually there or close to it. And then I think this makes a nice, what's the word I want? Sort of a nice contrapposto to the figures. So, and I think I've probably said it before, but the paintings are done until they're titled. And my darling wife, Bridget Gethens, an actor, her most recent project was on Amazon called Sprung. Shoot, I don't remember her character's name, but the fun part, or not so fun, it's the first time you see him on camera. In the first episode, she's referred to as the old bitch. But it's a very funny show. I recommend it highly. So, standing back up, take a little time to look, and now I think we will switch to the time lapse. So as you can see, and we're just going to lay out all the Black-Eyed Susans, get the layering figured out, and then work through. And that one I got a little orange because I'm using 2 different brands. There's the RF, and then there's the Shiva, and the RF is a little more slurpy, for lack of a better, and the color a little stronger, which is great in using the white because it helps me hide some of the problems. And then you'll notice here in a minute I'll use some of the vermilion again, and that's to sort of indicate the mulch beneath, and then this is the shadow side of the wall they're sitting on. And when I started to do this hat, I went, ugh, a red hat? And we all have a little reaction to red hats now, but it's necessary for the composition chromatically. Working on the balance of primary and secondary colors and color schemes and such. So this is the water that the kids are playing in. This you can see, so see I lay in the vermilion and then lay the phthalo blue over top. And that gives you the black shorts. Now here is a closer view of those Black-Eyed Susans as I pan through the painting. And you can see just how slurpy and fun that is. I'm not saying these are done yet. And then the shorts, and you can see that little bit of vermilion popping through, which helps with the balance of the green. Of course, the red hat and the water above. we'll see how much more I play with this. So we're getting close to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Please leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. And I'd love to know what you think. And here's just a quick look at the tables. Somehow I now work too. And I've had this laundry table. I grew up with this in the 50s. My mother stored our laundry on it. Now it's been a pig table for closing in on 50 years. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's what falls to the floor while you're painting. See you soon, and see you for the tour.